to another edition of Bite This alongside Dr. Tom. I am Josh Matthews, and Dr. Tom, this is a very important day in the United States. Today happens to be the 2-year anniversary of September 11th, so, just like to thank all of our armed forces troops, New York police, firemen, the whole deal, once again, thank you on this solemn occasion here in the United States. But we're going to have a great show here on Bite This. Tonight is the season premiere of SmackDown on UPN, so I'm looking forward to that. And Raw was a great show this past Monday. SmackDown and Raw were in the dirty South this past week.
We're going to say dirty South, man. You don't
dirty,
like people in the South?
It's dirty. It's the whole deal. Dirty South.
Yeah, you're
it's
good,
cool.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. We got Unforgiven right around the corner.
Unforgiven is something I'm looking forward to.
Everyone is looking forward to Unforgiven. Of course, Raw exclusive pay-per-view. We're going to have Draws on the phone. He'll talk all about Unforgiven. Also joining us today will be Booker T and Mark Henry.
I'm anxious to hear how Booker's feeling. I know he's had a back injury. I know that. Get your hand out of my face before I slap the living dog crap out of you, man. I'm anxious to see how Mark Henry feels now that he's hooked up with the player and the man who knows where the haterade is, Teddy Long and Rodney Mack. I think Mark. You know what? I think this is a great move in Mark Henry's career.
Hooking up with Teddy Long and
hey man, anybody who hooks up with Teddy Long is right in with me.
I'm trying to get in with them, but I don't
you
think they're
will
gonna allow
never
me.
get in with them.
No, but let's not waste any more time. Joining us now with his 2 cents, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Draws. Draws, what's up?
Not too much. What's going on there, guys?
Hey, Draws, you definitely are in with Teddy Long, player.
Oh, Teddy Long is the Mac Daddy Mac.
Yeah.
Now, how is Draws in with Teddy Long and I'm not?
Well,
it's obvious.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Well, Draws, let's get right into it. Let's talk about Unforgiven. Let's run down the matches. Let's get your picks. Let's do the whole thing. Let's kick it off with Test versus Scott Steiner. Stacy and Steiner services are on the line.
Ooh. Well, in my eyes, it doesn't really. As long as services are on the line, it really doesn't matter who wins. But, I'd like to see Stacy back with Steiner, but I have a feeling Test is some way, somehow going to end up digging his claws in there and pulling this match out. Now, you can't keep me to this because next week I might change my mind when I make my predictions, but I think Test might end up on top here in more ways than one.
Yeah. Hey, Draws, what do you think Test would make Steiner do if he wins the services?
That kind of worried me a little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He wants Steiner's services and that. I've always kind of wondered a little bit about Test, and I think that puts some things out there that, hopefully he'll win, and we'll have to see this because I'm dying to know.
Yeah. I think we all are, man.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Hey, did you happen to see Raw this past week when Spike Dudley took that vicious bump over the top rope and his head nearly just grazed the table? I mean, we have a 6-man tables match with the Dudley Boys taking on La Resistance and Rob Conway at Unforgiven, man.
The 6-way tables match, the Dudleys and Spike, if Spike's still breathing, I mean, that was unbelievable.
Wow.
I felt bad for the back of Spike's head and the rest of his body, but, I think it's the Dudleys' time to put some serious hurt and payback on these guys, and I definitely see it happening at this match, and I think the tables are going to be breaking left and right.
Hey, real quick, have you been impressed with Rob Conway lately? I mean, he's been around for a while in OVW, been around in Louisville, Kentucky. He's not a rookie or a newcomer by any means, but I believe he's really found his niche with La Resistance.
Yeah, he's definitely fit in well with them from day one. When he made his first appearance, and he's fitting in the mold of the other two nicely. He's doing what he has to do to win. And, he looks great out there. He's got some great moves. And, those three together, they're a tough combination. Very young, very agile, very athletic. But I don't think they're going to be able to stand up to the Dudley Boys, especially after what happened to Spike that night.
No doubt. And also in another match with the Raw announce job on the line, Al Snow and Coach team up to take on Jerry Lawler and JR. Good old JR. What do you think about this one, Draws?
Well, this could be interesting, to say the least. I'm hoping and praying that JR and King win. For the simple, not that I don't love Al, and Coach, I'm not exactly sure what's happened to him lately. I think he's got a little too much power trip going on, but if nothing else, it's going to be interesting to see how they do this.
No doubt about that.
Yeah, I was just going to say one thing about it is Coach has Al Snow and confidence on his side, but I've got to think that JR and King have the experience and know how to take the shortcuts. And if indeed it winds up being Coach and Al Snow as the new host of Raw, I mean, this whole thing is going to have to. It's going to have to be reworked, redone, and you know it's going to be a different style altogether.
Oh, it definitely will, and you know, it would of course, it would definitely shake things up, and you know, people are so used to hearing JR and King on there, but you know, they'd shake things up, and we'd definitely have two serious heels on the microphone, and it would definitely make things difficult, I think, for a lot of the wrestlers out there. And I think we might have a coup, and they might end up taking those two out if they did win, and JR and King will be right back in there.
Well, we got a legend versus legend killer match. Shawn Michaels takes on Randy Orton. Thoughts on this one, Droz?
You know, Randy Orton has shown us so much, you know, in the time period that he's been in, but you know, if it ends up him by himself against Shawn without getting the outside help, I don't think he can stack up with him. I really don't. Shawn has too much experience, you know, definitely too much ring, probably more shower time, as I would say, you know, than ring time. I think then the kid has ring time. But he's got his work cut out for him against Shawn Michaels, and I see Shawn bringing this one out.
I don't doubt what you say when you talk about Shawn's experience being a big factor in this match, but at the same time, you got to remember that Randy Orton comes from that wrestling background. He comes from that wrestling family. He's third generation, and I think it's that Shawn Michaels is really going to have his work cut out for him at Unforgiven.
Well, he's definitely, you know what, in his short, he's learned a lot of tricks of the trade, and you know, as you said, third generation. He's learned a lot of the sleight of hand tricks of trade. You need to, you know, be a winner, not so much be, you know, the nicest guy in the world. So, you know, Shawn will have his work cut out for him because you don't know what Orton will do out there.
Another match that I'm really looking forward to. This one is going to be a last man standing match. Kane versus Shane McMahon. We know what Shane McMahon can do on pay-per-view, but we also know that Kane is a monster. What do you like in this one, Droz?
Oh, well, you know, last time Shane did the pay-per-view, you never know what that kid's going to do, and it's scary. It's a scary concept, but Kane's been on such a roll, and the beating he put on RVD the other night, I mean, you know, through the cage, you know, off the ropes with a choke slam. I mean, he is definitely, you know, once the mask came off, I think they unleashed a demon that was worse than the one, you know, that was covered by the mask. So I'd love to see Shane pull this one out, but I think Kane's just got too much going for him right now, and this is definitely going to be a bloody one.
I know that there's a lot on the line in that match for both guys, Shane McMahon and, of course, Kane, but I think the guy that really has the most on the line in Unforgiven has to be Goldberg, because if he does not defeat Triple H and he doesn't walk out with the World Heavyweight Championship, that means Goldberg is finished in World Wrestling Entertainment. You think he's going to pull it off this time, Droz?
Well, like you said, I think he has to. And then, you know, you go back to Monday night and the vicious beating that he took. I mean, talk about battered and bloody. He was left, you know, just, you know, the three of them put it on him, and he's got more than the incentive of, you know, that beating. Like you said, he could be out of wrestling if he loses this match, and I don't think he's going to allow that to happen. He's going to do anything and everything in his power. And then, of course, you know, Austin came out and said he can't get DQ'd or counted out because he, you know, Triple H will lose the belt. So I think, you know, hat's definitely off to Goldberg, and he's got to pull this out, and I'm sure he will.
Unforgiven shaping up to be absolutely off the hook. I mean, we've just gone through the matches, and every one of them looks like they could steal the show.
Well, these are only the matches that have been announced so far. I'm sure there's more on the way, and of course, it's going to be an interesting night tonight on SmackDown, the season premiere, and Droz. Hopefully, you get a chance to watch it. No preemptions tonight, is there?
I don't think it is. I'm going to check when we get off to make sure it's not preempted.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great night on SmackDown tonight, the season premiere. Listen, Droz, we appreciate you talking about Unforgiven with us. Looking forward to getting your official picks.
What's in the column this week, Droz?
Oh, well, you know what? I've actually pushed it back a little. I usually get it out now. I get it out there for Monday, but you know, I'm kind of going back on, you know, things that happened, you know, in the past week, and I've been able now to catch Velocity and Heat and those things, and I'm trying to get, you know, some of the younger guys actually to write about them, and you know, I'm sure people are watching them, but just, you know, I know there's people in other countries who don't get some of the shows, so just trying to keep it informed on things that are going on, basically.
Real quick, Draws, I made the mistake of saying it was tonight. The season premiere of SmackDown is, of course, next week.
Well, that's okay, Doc.
That's okay, man. I'm allowed to make 3 mistakes.
You are allowed to make some mistakes.
That's okay. Very nice. Cool.
All right, Josh, listen, appreciate your talks about Unforgiven, and I'm looking forward for the column this upcoming week. I'm looking forward to talking to you next week and get your official picks for Unforgiven.
All righty.
All right, thanks a lot,
You
Josh.
guys take care.
See you later.
All right, that, of course, was Droz kicking in his 2 cents here on Bite This. Dr. Tom, we mentioned Kane, and I think this says it all right here, the cover of the new WWE magazine, Red Rage. There's Kane right there. This is, of course, available now on newsstands everywhere.
Yeah.
Red Rage.
What about that article by Taz, Tales from the Hook?
Yeah.
They're taking over.
Yeah, we'll
He's
talk
not
to
talking
Taz
about
a little bit later about they're taking over guys here. He's got amateur wrestlers and things like that. Yeah, Dr. Tom, next week the season premiere of SmackDown, the 60-minute WWE Iron Man match for the WWE Championship. Brock Lesnar versus Kurt Angle. And, this is a pay-per-view quality match, and we're getting it on SmackDown.
You have to think. Both of these guys... Oh, everybody okay over there? So make sure. All right, women and children first. Thank you. Yeah, both of these guys are in the peak of their careers right now. Kurt Angle is coming off a neck injury. He's not fresh off that neck injury. He's been wrestling a few months, and he's got to feel back in ring shape, I would believe. But at the same time, you have to know the anticipation by both guys to have a tremendous match. And 60 minutes, the man who wins the most falls is going to walk out as the champion, obviously.
Give us a call at 888-LIVE-WWE. Log on to WWE.com right now, as all of you are, listening to another live edition of Bite This. Still to come, Booker T and Mark Henry.
Why don't you take a Valium?
And Taz will be coming in with his
5.
Tales from the Hook. Do we have Mark Henry on the phone right now? We do.
All right.
So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please allow me to introduce Mark Henry. Mark Henry on the phone, Josh Matthews, and Dr. Tom.
What's happening, fellas?
Mark, I want to know what's happening with you. I really like the new attitude you came back to World Wrestling Entertainment with, and but I've noticed that you came back with a vengeance and you came back with an attitude, and I have to believe it's because of Teddy Long. And tell me if that's true or not.
Well, Teddy Long has went through some of the same struggles. It's easy to get focused for an event, but more than anything, my frustration or my anger, if you will, is from the fact that I felt like I had this in me all along. It's just that I don't care anymore. I wanna do for me. I was always worried about everybody else, how this guy was gonna perceive me, or how this person was gonna perceive me. I don't care right now. It's like I wanna do for Mark for a change.
Well, it seems to me like you've always been that gentle giant, big guy who didn't mind helping anybody, didn't mind going to the autograph sessions, didn't mind doing whatever was asked of him. And not only have I noticed a change in that part of Mark Henry, but when you step in the ring, it's not the same guy we saw the last time you were here. You have a new, it seems like a new purpose. It seems when you walk in the ring, you have been, it's like a totally different guy. Where did that come from?
Well, I want to prove to everybody that I belong and that I'm going to be here for a while. And all the people that took advantage of me in the past, which I have a pretty good list, and I'll start executing wins on that list here pretty soon. To let them know that it's a different me. And that I'm not going to take a lot of crap from anybody, actually, including the people with the brass. If it takes for me to, have to get away from everybody to get some respect, then that's what had to be done.
Right on. Wow. Looks like he's aligned himself with the right people to do that. Of course, Teddy Long and Roddy Mack. How does it feel, Mark, to be aligned with these guys now? Obviously you're enjoying it, but do you think this is going to go in the right direction for you now, being with Roddy Mack and Theodore Long and going this way, going this route? Obviously you're enjoying it, but is this what's going to take to bring out the monster or the animal in Mark Henry?
I think it's great. I go along with Roddy Mack as well as Jazz. Teddy Long and I have always looked at things from a real close, a real close way to speak. So I don't have any problems with those guys. I enjoy being with them. They have a lot of the same goals that I have, and it's already difficult to make it in this industry, but it's even more difficult to make it if you have a lot of enemies. And I don't feel like I have a lot of enemies as much as I did before. People respect my work, and they see that there's a difference. And Teddy Long is one of those people that's like, quit worrying about what everybody thinks and just do you. And if you do you, then everything will be fine. And that's what I'm doing. I'm looking out for Mark Henry. People gonna see some stuff.
Understandable. Right on. I got to do what you got to do, I suppose. Let's go to the phone calls now. We got Keith calling from Maryland. Keith, you're on the phone with Mark Henry.
Hey, Mark, how's it going?
It's going pretty good.
Hey, Mark, I was just wondering, how much can you bench press?
Well, I've benched over 550, but I always looked at the bench press as being a useless lift, partly because I wasn't that good at it. But the hips and back is where it is.
Well,
you know what? I don't think anybody doubts that you proved that you are the world's strongest man. And there was a time, as you said, when you felt like you were being pretty much discarded by WWE and not really being paid attention to. And I guess for the better part of this year, you've been in OVW, the same place that Rodney Mack came from. And when Rodney debuted here in World Wrestling Entertainment, he came in with that attitude. He came in straight ahead. And do you think that OVW helped change your attitude as well before you came back this time?
Of course OVW helped me out. Jim Cornette and Danny Davis and Rip Rogers, I think, have given me, with no disrespect to you, Tom, being that you were my first trainer, they've given me a lot more insight. A lot of it was when I was with you, Tom, is I was lazy and just didn't get it. But I got gray hair in my face now. I'm not a kid anymore. There's a lot of things that I understand, and if I'd have understood it then, I guess we wouldn't be here. We'd be in a different place. But I understand. I learned a lot from them guys, and they taught me how to be myself. And I'm tired, and I have been tired for a long time of trying to be a good guy, trying to be nice, trying to do everything to please everybody. Regardless of how much I try to please, everybody is never going to be satisfied, so who cares? It's just a matter of going out and doing the best I can do and taking care of business. And, that's what it basically boils down to. And those guys learned how to show me how to bring that out.
Well, sometimes you have to lose to know how to win, Mark, and I think you've lost enough, and now I think it's ready for you to win. And I think with Teddy Long and Rodney Mack by your side, you're on a good position to be in.
Hey, it's good to be with them guys too.
And Mark, let me ask you. You spent a lot of time in OVW, and among the competitors there, who do you think has the right potential to be here in the WWE right now?
I think if there was going to be the next guy, I would say either Nick Dinsmore or Matt Morgan. I've bumped head with Matt Morgan more than one occasion, and right before I left, I was bumping heads with Nick Dinsmore. So, either one of those guys can make it at this level, and it's just a matter of them getting the opportunity, just like I did, and them not worrying about making everybody, yes, sir, how you doing? Can I get your bags? None of that kind of stuff. You got to come in and be cutthroat and try to win and try to get over. And, that's what I want to do. I want to win, and I want to make people see that I can be mainstream, that I can be Steve Austin, I can be The Rock, I can be Kurt Angle, I can be a Brock Lesnar. And it takes a certain mentality to do that. And I'm not going to mention my name in the same breath as The Undertaker or Hunter, because I hold those guys at even higher regard than the other names that I mentioned. To have that kind of longevity and power, as far as staying power, takes a lot. And I don't know how much time I have, but what little time I do have is going to be very intense.
Well, you've got the opportunity to do all of that right now. Mark Henry being back, of course, on the Raw side with Theodore Long and Roddy Mack. But let's go to the phone now. We got a question from Paul from Ontario. Paul, you're on the phone with Mark Henry. Go.
Hey, Mark Henry.
How you doing? Let me hear some bass in your voice. I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry about that. I'm a big fan of you, especially being the world's strongest man. And a couple of questions. I just wanted to ask you, one, what kind of training did you go through to get your body where it is? And two, I wanted to know if you had any tips for somebody who's starting to work out and try and get his body into good shape.
Well, I had to stop eating garbage after about, when I say garbage, I mean breads and pastas and stuff like that. It's okay to eat that stuff, but you got to eat it in moderation. Secondly, an hour of walking, an hour of any aerobic activity will help. And not lifting heavy will bring you strength, but it will also gear you down. If you want to speed up, then you're going to have to do more repetitions and do them very quickly. That is the basic philosophy behind building strength and speed and endurance. If you want to build power, which is strength and speed combined, then you're going to have to gear down. But, if you want to lean out and lose some weight and get quicker, then you're going to have to do it the other way. You're going to have to do quick movements.
Well, there you go. Thank you for the question, Paul from Ontario. And we'd like to thank our guest here on the telephone, Mark Henry. Really appreciate your time and joining us here on Bite This Thursday afternoon. We really appreciate it.
All right, guys. Appreciate y'all for having me. Y'all bite this.
Thank you.
Hey. Good
All
luck,
right.
Mark. I'm looking forward to seeing you and Teddy Long along with Rodney Mack having a lot of success on Raw.
On the top of the mountain, baby.
You got it.
All right, that, of course, was Mark Henry. Still able to join us here via the telephone will be Booker T. Dr. Tom, got something to say?
Yeah, I do. One thing I like to say about Mark Henry is I'm glad to see that he finally saw the light and he finally got off that pity party he was having for himself, and he got it. He went to Louisville, he went to OVW, and he busted his ass to get back to World Wrestling Entertainment, and that's what it takes. I'm finally seeing that hunger in Mark Henry when you get to WWE, and he's not going to blow this chance this time.
All right.
Kind of like you.
All right.
You blew the chance a long time ago. I think you blew more than... Never mind. Okay. Hey, call us at 888-LIVE-WWE, by the way, and we'll take your phone calls, kind of hang out. Hopefully Taz will be on the phone shortly. And Josh, obviously you're going to be here next week, but I'm not.
Yeah, Dr. Tom, of course, will be in Cancun, Mexico. I don't know how he pulls this off. For the next 2 weeks, Dr. Tom will be with the WWE Divas. Yeah. And speaking of the Divas,
yes,
on sale this Tuesday are 4 Raw Collector's Edition magazines here, Dr. Tom. There's that one. That's Gail Kim. There's Stacy Keibler.
Whoa. Let's go right there. There you go.
Oh, there you go. That's Stacy, of course. Do you want to do Gail again? I don't know
yeah,
if we got a close-up of that
Come
one.
on, here.
These are all available this Tuesday.
Look at this. I can find
Newsstands everywhere. There's WrestleMania, stuff in here.
Yeah, sure.
Stuff about all the divas here in the WWE, who Dr. Tom will be accompanying to Cancun, Mexico. For the next couple of weeks, there's the last one right there. That's Lita, and she's, with her little puppy. Lita's all into animals. She loves animals. Of course, we've heard Lita on Bite This before talk about her animal stuff. We already talked about the new WWE magazine currently available right now in newsstands everywhere. Red Rage, Kane's on the cover, and pretty soon we'll be talking to Taz about his latest article in the WWE magazine, Tales from the Hook. We'll also talk to Taz about next week's season premiere of SmackDown. If you want to talk to Taz, you can give him a call at 888-LIVE-WWE. Give us a call. Let us know we have an email question for Taz, and I'm really looking forward to having him answer.
I have a special satellite phone that I will be able to call and talk to you guys from Mexico.
Oh, that's great, Dr. Tom. I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to talk to you for 2 weeks.
Josh, you know what, man? Do you ever really do you have a girlfriend?
No, unfortunately.
Oh, what a shock. Okay, very good.
The world's going on around here.
Yeah, well.
So anyway, hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to Taz very soon, and he'll talk to us all about SmackDown tonight, and of course the season premiere this upcoming week. But I think as of right now, I'm getting the sign from Phil Spear that joining us now via the telephone, SmackDown's Elite Color analyst. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Taz. Taz, what's up, buddy?
What's up? What's up, Josh? Dr. Tom, what's up, man?
Taz, I have to tell you this real quick. I haven't mentioned it to Josh yet, but I did catch Velocity. I believe it was last week, and the chemistry between you two is tremendous. I could see you guys in the booth, and I could feel you want to put those big meat hooks around his throat and choke him.
Yeah, Tom, you were a broadcaster. You've worked with a lot of you were a color guy like me, and you've worked with a lot of these ham and eggers, and Josh takes the cake.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I work next to his husband, Michael Cole.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool that you use eggs to make a cake, Taz?
Yeah, that's great, Josh.
Listen. You mentioned Michael Cole. We got an email question here from Lisa of Buffalo, New York. When will we be seeing Taz versus Michael Cole pretty soon like we do on the Raw side of things, the announcers fighting?
Oh, I can't do that. Michael Cole's in better shape than me. I mean, he's all buffed up. You know that, Josh. You guys go for jogs on the beach together.
On the beach, yes.
So, he's in great shape, Michael Cole. I'm a retired, broken-down ex-wrestler,
So
he'd kick my ass. I don't want to fight him.
No SmackDown announced matches or anything like that going on?
What?
No SmackDown announced team matches, anything like that?
No. We'll let the Raw guys do all that tomfoolery, that shenanigans. They need the attention. We're good. We'll just call the action and tell them about the superstars in the ring.
Very good. Hey, talking about calling the action, next week, the 60-minute Iron Man match between Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar. You and Michael Cole get to call that match. It's got to be something you're looking forward to, not just because it's going to be 60 straight minutes, but the fact is, in your debut, you wrestled Kurt Angle at Madison Square Garden and came out victorious. Now Brock Lesnar and Kurt have been two of the biggest amateur wrestlers to come into World Wrestling Entertainment. I'm trying to segue this into your article that you wrote in the WWE magazine.
I got that segue.
Thank you very much.
I got it. I was going to do it as soon as he answered.
Yeah, great. My point is, we have two of the greatest amateur wrestlers in modern history coming together for 60 minutes. Looking forward to doing this match, Taz?
Yeah, I actually am, Tom. I mean, for real. I mean, all kidding aside, I and Josh is a play-by-play guy, and Tom, you've done color commentary for years, and there's certain guys that you enjoy calling matches for more than others. I don't care what anybody says. I believe that every announcer, digs a certain guy, likes to call certain guys' moves a certain way. You know what I mean?
Right.
Brock and Kurt are two of my favorite guys, for me personally, to sit and announce their match and analyze what those guys are doing. From my background in martial arts and amateur wrestling and years of professional wrestling, I kind of feel what they're doing in there, and I think Brock and Kurt, as you pointed out, great point. I mean, in this modern era, two of the greatest ever out of the amateur ranks to come to our level, and they're both so successful. And it's the story with this match, the drama building up this match, the momentum that Brock Lesnar has, with Mr. McMahon behind Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar running roughshod throughout SmackDown and just wreaking havoc, and Kurt Angle just wants to try and hold on to his title and teach Brock some respect, I guess. These guys used to be best friends. I traveled in cars with these two guys, you know what I mean? And Brock's changed a lot. Some people hate the way he's become. I think Brock changed for the better. In order to be, on top in this industry, especially in this company, you need to be a vicious person, and in more ways than one. And Brock is doing that. I mean, nice guys don't. Just because you're a nice guy doesn't make you a champion, But back to the match, I think that it's going to be. I hate to be Joe Schill, but I think it's going to be an unbelievable match. I've never had the opportunity, and neither has Michael Cole, to call a match that's 60 minutes. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we'll do it. So.
Well, one thing, actually, I'm really looking forward to, because you do it more than, I want to say, Lawler or JR to a certain extent. You call the holds in a way that a layman can learn the holds once they see it, and then you call it. And that's what I'm really looking forward to, and I know the pressure's going to be on next week with 60 minutes, because Lesnar and Angle are going to go through the entire book, man, from A to Z.
No doubt about it. And you know what I'm probably going to do, Tom, is I'll grab Kurt early in the day and ask him what's his game plan, try and pick his brain a little bit, and then I'll try and grab Brock, and try and talk to Brock if Mr. McMahon lets me. I could have Michael Cole grab Mr. McMahon and have an arm wrestling contest or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that'll distract Vince. But anyway, I would like to try and talk to these guys. I once in a while I'll grab a guy that I know real well and say, "What's your game plan going to this match?" What are you gonna try and do here? And a lot of times guys will tell you something they're gonna do and they don't do it. I'm gonna try. I know the guy's got a bum knee. I'm gonna try and get his knee. I'm gonna try and work his leg and get on his leg. And then the guy doesn't give him that opening. Boom! Next thing you know, he's getting his shoulder worked on. So I can't always go with what guys think they're gonna do, because as you know, Tom, it changes all the time.
Things change, yeah.
Josh, you know nothing.
That, of course, is the WWE Iron Man match for the WWE Championship next week on SmackDown, the season premiere. Taz, last year's season premiere was the Billy and Chuck wedding.
What a great moment that was. It was touching. I mean, in my den, I have a huge picture of Billy and Chuck in their wedding gowns, and I look at it all the time, and I cry, and I can't help but think of you and Michael Cole.
And you mentioned, Taz, amateur wrestlers. We're talking about them. Of course, Kurt and Brock are, top-tier amateur wrestlers. But in your recent Tales from the Hook magazine, which is available now, WWE magazine, of course, with Kane on the cover, you talk about, they're taking over, guys with amateur backgrounds, Charlie Haas, Shelton Benjamin, Scott Steiner, Orlando Jordan, Brock Lesnar, and Kurt Angle. I mean, do you really think, that having an amateur background really gives you an edge here in the WWE?
Absolutely. I mean, all those athletes you just named have proven it. And I'm not saying that it's a must. You must have it. You must have a great amateur background. But, geez, it helps. I know when I broke into business, it helped me having an extensive judo background. It big time helped me, because judo's a grappling art, and it helped me a lot. And I think that it gives you major leverage on the industry if you have a great background. Now, some of the guys from years back, had a different. They came in with a different style. Guys like the Bob Backlunds and Baron von Raschke. I think he was a great amateur wrestler,
right,
and no one ever marketed the fact that he was.
Right.
The only guy that did that was the Iron Sheik. So
Khosrow Vaziri, when he was a lighter wrestler.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Why just throw some silly gimmick on a guy? If the guy is great wrestler, let him go. I mean, that's why I think, like in the days of the Iron Sheik, it was marketed that this guy was wrestling in the Olympics in the '68 games, I believe it was. But Sheik really just, all he did was a couple of different suplexes, but he never had the chance to do a lot of the mat work, because it was a different style back then. But I think that our guys today, what the article's about, is that our guys are changing. The guys that are coming from collegiate ranks of wrestling into our company are changing the style of professional wrestling, especially on the SmackDown brand.
Yeah, I think it is. It's true, because years ago, I remember guys like Dale Lewis, Bob Roop, and some of the amateur guys who.
What about Dewey Robinson?
Dewey Robinson, yes, the missing link.
Missing link. He was a great shooter. No one ever knew it.
Right, exactly. But nowadays, again, what's old is going to be new again, and sometimes the amateur wrestlers didn't always translate well in professional wrestling. But when you have the new breed like a Kurt Angle and a Brock Lesnar who understand that good wrestling can be entertaining and it can be something people will buy, something we'll come and watch live, and definitely will watch for a straight hour on TV, then we have something there, because you have the credibility and you have guys that know what they're doing out there. And yeah, I agree with you, Taz. Having a good, solid amateur background is definitely a plus here in WWE.
But now for you, Tom, I have a question, because you're a guy who's, a lot of people know this, some people don't know it, but you have a lot to do with the training of a lot of the top guys in our industry right now.
Right.
And it had to be easier for you, because I know I've trained some guys in my day, not amateurs to the level of Kurt and Brock and stuff, but it had to make your job a little easier.
Oh, definitely. For Kurt Angle to be the best in the world and actually get in the ring, look across the ring from him, and try and explain to him, we're just going to walk around the ring here, and he got it. I told him I have nothing to prove to you, and you're right. It was a lot easier. And
you're just getting there. You hope Kurt don't have a flashback.
Yeah, I actually, and this is a little known fact too, I actually had Kurt Angle's very first match, not WWE match, but it was in a town up in Massachusetts, his debut match.
Really?
And I was hoping then he wouldn't have a flashback, but he was great, man. He was great. He's a gentleman, and I can honestly say he hasn't changed from the first day he walked in here.
No, success hasn't changed Kurt Angle at all, or Brock Lesnar, to be honest with you, because I know Brock from when he was just starting out doing dark matches. He used to drive with Kurt Angle and I when I was on the road, and Brock is, to me, the same guy. I love Brock, but I mean, he's a vicious SOB. There's no doubt about it. But he's a quality guy. Kurt's the man. I don't think there's anybody who does not like Kurt.
Right.
And Taz,
It's like
now,
we've got Iranian that got stretched by him in the games.
Yeah.
and Taz, but now you're even educating us on the styles of different guys, such as like John Cena. You say he's got the American strong style. Can you explain that a little bit to the fans that hear you say that on SmackDown?
Well,
Maybe.
well, I mean by Cena, like, you know, there's different styles of wrestling. You know, obviously you have luchador style guys like Eddie Guerrero. He combines an American strong style with lucha. You know, and then you got Mysterio, who's got a Japanese traditional style with obviously lucha. You know, Benoit is American strong style with a twinge of Japanese in it. You know, Cena, you know, he's straight up American strong style. You know, what that is it's a ground and pound attack. He'll hit you with some hard slams or a spine buster once in a while, maybe a suplex. Just different styles, and I think that us as announcers need to start explaining that to wrestling fans out there, especially the hardcore fan wants to know what style the announcer feels that this guy is in the ring, and the guy that's not, or the guy or girl that's not the hardcore fan, it's our job as announcers, I feel, to explain the different styles of wrestling. It's not just, okay, this guy's a pro wrestler. Okay, well, what? So, I mean, that's like in baseball. So every pitcher throws heat. You know, every pitcher's got a different style, you know. Same thing with our industry, you know. There's different styles, and you got to try and pick your spots and explain. This is what I try to do. Every once in a while, not every single SmackDown, but I try and explain someone's style. But, you know, the problem with our job is you don't have a lot of time to do it on the air.
Right.
You know, that's the problem. I mean, now, you know, I don't know on the Raw side if they're ever going to explain anything like what I'm just explaining here. But, you know, we do things a little bit different on the SmackDown side of things as far as the announcing goes.
And you mentioned John Cena and Eddie Guerrero. They have a huge Latino Heat parking lot brawl match tonight that'll happen on SmackDown.
Physical, man. I mean, it's a physical deal. This match, I'm telling you, you know the deal. I mean, this match is physical. So I mean, people, you don't want to miss this deal. It's a I don't know. Latino Heat street brawl. It's a fight in the parking lot. That's what it is.
I couldn't think of two guys that are better apt to do it, Taz. And I got to say just real quickly that I think it's a credit to both you guys, you and Michael Cole. I hate keep putting you guys over, but the fact is you are calling the holds and you are re-educating the fans along with the wrestlers, and that's something I think that's needs to be done and has needed to be done for a long time. Yeah,
and you know, to Michael Cole's credit, and thank you for the compliment, Tom, and that means a lot. But I mean, to Michael Cole's credit, he's kind of helped change the way this is being done. He's kind of, every once in a while, I'll slip into a play-by-play mode, and he'll slip into a color commentator mode where I'll explain what's going on in there. I'll call action, and, you know, I'm almost doing his, not Cole's job, but that's his gig, as he's a play-by-play guy. So we agreed months ago that we would change the way wrestling matches are called, especially on Thursday nights. You know, it's just the way we do things. We have a certain way, and you know, we love what we do. We love, you know, just going out there, calling it, and God, I mean, you know, you guys know Michael Cole. There's not too many people with a stronger work ethic than that guy. He works his ass off, you know, and he's come a long way from getting a wedgie from DX.
Yeah,
he really has. All kidding aside, you know, and his credibility is rising rapidly.
No doubt.
And I'm proud to work with him.
No doubt about that. And listen, Taz, we'll let you get back to the hook and, you know, doing whatever it is you do over there on Thursday afternoon.
Well, skateboarding today. There's a big skateboard day down the hills.
Tremendous.
All right, well,
yeah, I'm hanging 10, man, everything.
Yeah.
Hanging. Whoa, I almost fell.
Well, listen, Taz, thank you very much for joining us. We're looking forward to talking to you next week after the season premiere, or the, you know, just a few hours before the season premiere of SmackDown.
All right, one more thing. JETS, Jets. On that note, I got to go.
Very nice.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later.
All right. Taz is a big Jets fan. They got a big game. They're 0-1 right now, but I can't say anything because my Packers are also 0-1. The Jets got a big game against the Dolphins this
Who's been packing you?
Sunday. No, the Green Bay Packers
Oh,
are footballteam.com.
Okay.
No, we talked about that last week, but you're not a big fan. Next week on Bite This, live in the studio, you're not going to want to miss this, the World Heavyweight Champion, Triple H, will be
I don't want to
right
miss
here.
that.
Well, you're going to be in Cancun with the Divas.
Fun. Sorry.
Divas, Triple H in the studio. I think you want to stay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, sure.
Dr. Thomas is going to be staying here.
No, I gotta go.
Still to come, the show's not quite over yet because we will be joined by
Booker T.
Booker T. will be joining us. I love that. Love it. Love it.
You know what, man?
Love it.
I got to say, Booker T has been one of my favorite performers, one of my favorite superstars, especially since he came from WCW into World Wrestling Entertainment. And another thing, when he moved from Harlem back to Houston, his original hometown, that made me even more happy.
Awesome. Well, let's not waste any more time. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Booker T. Booker T, how you doing? Josh Matthews and Dr. Tom.
How's it going, man? I'm doing pretty good.
Good. Booker, we got lots of questions for you here. Of course, if anybody of you have questions for Booker T, give us a call at 888-LIVE-WWE. But most frequently emailed here to Bite This, or, how are you? What happened? When are you coming back? When are we going to see the 6-time world champion? Any chances of Harlem Heat returning? Things like that.
Well, what happened was I had an injury over in Australia, and we were there and touring there, and I was pretty banged up before I went there. And the pain just kept getting worse and worse, and actually it was a bulging disc, which was pressing on the sciatic nerve, which that's where I was getting all of my pain from, which was going down my right leg. But I'm feeling a lot better now, and I'm looking to make my return in October back into the middle of that square circle.
Well, I mean, obviously that long plane ride didn't help things any, and when you got back, how did you realize it was a bulging disc?
Well, I didn't realize it was a bulging disc. I just knew I was in a lot of pain, and I knew I was, like you say, the long plane flight back, and then on my way to Canada, I just knew I wanted to try to make it to Canada, but I just couldn't go no more at that point. The pain was just that high. I just couldn't make it.
Booker, how did it feel about losing the Intercontinental title during a non-televised event?
Well, I don't feel bad about it or anything. I just wish they would have had some still footage or something just for the fans, to see it. I wouldn't have mind doing it, on regular live Monday night. I would have gave it my all. I would have rather did it on TV just for my fans. So when the Booker T return come back, it would have been just that much stronger. But I'm not mad about it.
That's cool. I think one of the most entertaining duos was you and Goldust. You gotta wonder if that's another possibility, but also, what about the possibility of Harlem Heat maybe reforming a team?
That's the $1 million question. Everybody always asking when is Booker T and Stevie Ray going to make their return one more time. And my thing is, I've talked to my brother about it, and he's really enjoying being at home right now. But I always say never. So there is a possibility of a chance of seeing Harlem Heat reunited one more time.
Oh, very cool.
Booker, WrestleMania 20 will be at Madison Square Garden, March 14th. How do you feel about WrestleMania coming back to MSG?
That's going to be a historical night, not just for myself, but for all the fans, especially the fans of New York, after everything that's going on there. It's going to be a historic night. And for myself, I just want to get back in the hunt of trying to make it back to that main event at WrestleMania. Right now, I've been sidetracked a little bit as far as my injury and whatnot, but my thing is to finally make it back to that main event, that big stage, and that is going for the World Championship against Triple H or whoever that may be at that time, but that's my main objective goal.
You've had some time off, sit back, enjoy your house, enjoy just some leisure time. Have you had some time to think about maybe doing a book a la Stone Cold, Lita, the Hardy Boys, anything like that come your way?
Well, I want to do a book. Timing is everything. As far as that go for myself, I still got a little bit of unfinished business before I can do that. I do want to be the champion of all champions, and that's. And until I get that world title around my waist, I can't do that. As far as WCW, I did it all there. Now in WWE, I've pretty much done it all there. As far as tag team, Intercontinental title, and I want to finish it up before I can write a book or something like that, or maybe the life movie of Booker T. You never know, But I plan on doing a whole lot more other than just wrestling.
Who would play Booker T in the movie? Would you play yourself?
I'd probably get Wesley Snipes or somebody like that to play.
Well, you got a lot of stuff going on, Booker. How's Jam Zone doing? And for those of you who don't know, that's Booker's store in Houston. And can you tell us a little about what the store is and what you got there and things like that?
It's hip-hop. It's all hip-hop oriented as far as clothes, throwback jerseys, stuff like that. a lot of short sets and stuff like that. But we got a lot of stuff for the ladies also. We got purses, a lot of accessories, stuff like that. So it's something that's good. Not just for myself, but for the community. I haven't made a whole lot of money doing it, but that's really not the main objective goal. Main objective goal for me is just to get myself out around the Houston area, because you never know, I might run for mayor one day.
Yeah.
Just trying to sow my roots.
Well, let's go to the telephone now. We got Lav Drim. Did I say that all right? Lav Drim calling from Toronto. Lav Drim, you're on the phone with Booker T.
Yeah. Hi, Booker. How you
Hey,
doing?
what's going on, man?
Yeah, I'm cool. I was just wondering, what was the last movie you saw?
The last movie I saw, it's been a while. I really don't go to movies or anything like that. But the last movie I watched was X-Men 2. It's pretty good.
Very good movie, but you're on the phone with Booker T, and you got anything
Well,
you can ask him? Ask him what the last
I
movie
can
you
think
saw
of a
was.
few more, other questions besides about what the last movie you saw. I mean, one question I was debating whether I would ask you this or not, but I'll go ahead. Have you been back to see Ivan Putski or anybody from the old Ivan Putski wrestling days?
When I left that wrestling school, my brother and I we were among about 20 students at the time. I was there, and my brother and I, we were only two to make it out. And but nothing against Ivan Putski or anything, but my trainer there was a guy by the name of Scott Casey.
Yes.
And he kind of like put me on the right road as far as what I need to do to make it in the business, and what I need to stay away from to make it in the business. And as far as he go, I talk to him on a regular basis. He's my mentor. He's probably one reason I made it in the business today.
Well, one thing I can say is I did a show for Putski in the Sam Houston Coliseum, and I thought everybody there stunk.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
it was rotten.
I can honestly tell you, when I did go to school, Ivan Putski, when he did train, he trained all the students pretty much like he wrestled.
Yeah.
And he pretty much was adamant about going out and performing that way, and I pretty much rebelled. So
Right.
I was one of the students that he didn't like too much.
There you go. I can see why.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Booker, do you have any? Have you had a chance to see, the Raw product? Obviously, and we got Unforgiven coming up. Triple H versus Goldberg. Triple H's title's on the line, but also Goldberg's career here in the WWE. Thoughts on that match?
Thoughts on that match? I see Goldberg having a short future here.
All right. Well, on that note,
it's been good while it lasted.
Yeah. Okay. Very nice.
Well, on that note, let's go back to the telephones. We got Eric calling from Miami, Florida. Eric, you're on the phone with Booker T.
Hey, Booker.
Hey, what's going on, man?
I want to know when will you fight for the heavyweight title?
Well, I'm not the one who makes those decisions, but I can tell you this: I'm putting every effort towards getting back in the ring for the heavyweight title. I'm going to do everything I have to do, and as long as I got the fans behind me, pushing for me in that sense right there, I think it's going to happen sooner or later, because I don't plan on being around very, very much longer. I'm going to be around a little while longer, but hopefully it'll happen before I retire.
Hey, let me ask you something real quick, going back to Goldberg, because this is something that comes up once in a while on the internet, and there's rumors, controversy, whatever it is. Ever since Goldberg came to World Wrestling Entertainment, could you give me your impression of how he's done so far, or your opinions, or any thoughts on how Goldberg has survived so far in World Wrestling Entertainment?
Well, that's the question right there. I mean, that one question survive,
Yeah.
here in the WWE. I mean, for myself, I could tell you, for my first 2 years there, I mean, I put in a whole lot of effort to get where I am. And one thing about WWE, gaining the respect of your peers here is totally different than we were in WCW. And that's what I'm thinking he's going to have a lot harder time doing here, and that's getting the respect from his peers, and I don't think he's gained that up until this point. Will he? That's yet to be seen.
All right, let's go back to the phone calls. The phones are blowing up here at Titan Towers. We got Jeff calling from North Carolina. Jeff, you're on the phone with Booker T.
Hey, Booker T.
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing much. I was wondering, how did you come up with the Spinaroonie?
Spinneroonie been with me almost as long as I've been on this earth. Actually, I was a street kid when I was coming up, and I used to dance all the time, and I used to get in all the break dancing contests around town. Used to be in the McGregor Park in Houston, Texas on Sundays, always looking for a battle, not a fight, but a battle, and that was my way of kind of like staying out of trouble back then and still having fun at the same time.
Oh, very good, man.
Jeff, thank you for the question.
Any chances of you maybe pursuing the old acting career?
That's if I ever pursue wrestling, it'll be acting. It'll be after wrestling. I'm loyal to my fans because my fans are loyal to me, and I kind of see how it's gone with The Rock. Actually, going doing movies and coming back to the wrestling. The fans don't accept him to me the same way, and so I want to finish my wrestling. I want to get it out of the way, and then if I decide to do acting or something, I'll pursue it at that time.
There you go. That seems like a smart plan, don't you think, Dr. Tom?
Well, I don't think anybody from Texas ever had a stupid plan. Do you?
Absolutely not.
I'm trying to say that Booker T had a stupid plan.
Love Texas. Love Texas. I'm going to move there as soon as I can.
No, I don't think they'll let you.
It's a good state also.
Yes, sir. Very nice.
Well, listen, Booker T, we really appreciate you joining us this week on Bite This. Looking forward to seeing you back on Raw, back on TV as soon as possible, as soon as you're possible to do so. I know we're going to see you back doing Spinneroonies all over the place.
Heck yeah, man. I can't wait to get back. And to all my fans, just hang on. Booker T will be back. And peace.
What about the 6th time?
That sucker.
6 times world champion? 6 times?
You know it, baby.
All right.
Thanks, Booker.
Later, man.
All
right. SmackDown tonight, Dr. Tom. We already talked about it, the Latino Heat parking lot brawl between Eddie Guerrero and John Cena. This one's been going on for weeks. It all started, more or less, when John Cena attacked Eddie Guerrero in his hometown of El Paso, Texas, embarrassing Eddie in front of his friends and family. Eddie's mother was in the crowd. She couldn't even watch what John Cena did to Eddie in El Paso. So now we got a big match tonight.
So you're going to sit by the TV with a 6-pack and cheer for Cena or Eddie?
6-pack of what?
Yeah, whatever.
Whew. Okay. Chris Benoit will battle Rhino. This is another. These guys have a storied past as well. Former best friends. They used to travel together, and now, ever since Vengeance, when Rhino gored Benoit, costing Benoit the United States Championship. Now these two are going to go out on SmackDown tonight as well.
Well, I'd like to see the fact that Benoit is taking it to Rhino, because Rhino's a big boy, man, and I don't see either of those guys backing up. It's going to be a battle either way.
What about Shaniqua? She's crazy.
You're crazy.
No, Shaniqua's like certifiable. After what she did to the Divas last week in the Bourbon Street.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in the back, and I'm watching the Bourbon Street Bikini Contest, loving every second of it, loving the whole thing, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, here comes Shaniqua. She takes out Dawn Marie with the clothesline on the outside of the ring.
Yes.
Then she beats up Tori Wilson and Nydia.
What's crazy about that?
Well, she ruined the Bikini Contest.
Okay. And? Your point is?
Nice talking to you, Dr. Tom. And then, of course, Rey Mysterio and Billy Kidman team up to take on Tajiri and Nunzio. Lots going on between Tajiri and Rey Mysterio.
You know what really interested me, though? The APA. What about Bruce?
I love Bruce.
Isn't Bruce great?
I love Bruce.
Yeah, no doubt.
He's the best.
Yeah.
I wish I had a butler.
Yeah, I bet you do have a butler.
No, Bruce. Like Bruce.
Yeah,
Bruce
like
the
Bruce.
butler. Brings the APA beers, does anything you really want. I mean, Bruce is the man.
Yeah, I thought Michael Cole was your butler.
How do I get a butler?
Talk to Michael.
About
Bruce.
And, of course, Dr. Tom will be gone for the next 2 weeks.
Yes.
That's really
but just think of it.
Too bad.
You think I'm bad? Wait till Triple H sits right here, man.
You got Triple H?
Smart ass with him, man. He'll wipe you up like a little pimple.
Well, Triple H will be live in the studio.
And JR, I'd like to see you handle JR.
Yes.
2 weeks from now,
In 2 weeks, good old JR will be live in the studio, and Stone Cold Steve Austin will be on the phone.
Brutal on
That's
your
in 2 weeks.
man.
Next week, Randy Orton will be on the phone when Triple H is
Cole's
here.
bad. I don't care. Randy Orton will be on the phone. I'll talk to Randy next week, too. In fact, I'm going to call in next week, Josh, from Mexico.
Is that going to happen?
Cancun, it'll happen.
Well, maybe the phone. Maybe the phone lines will be tied up, and Dr. Tom won't be able to call in.
Yeah, maybe you'll have your head up your ass.
All right. Well, you know what, Dr. Tom? It's been another A-plus stellar show here on Bite This. Make sure you tune in to SmackDown tonight to see the huge match. And, of course, next week is the season premiere of SmackDown, a WWE Iron Man match. Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar.